So, many people are unfamiliar with Sandler. Maybe they've heard of it in some way, shape, or form, but Sandler is a sales methodology, and it's a series of seven selling strategies that when we zip tie these together in a custom format for an organization, we can put them on steroids to help them close more easily, shrink the cycle times on the deals. But I want you to think about it a little bit differently. I come out of the manufacturing business, and in that world, most organizations had this ISO certification about them. And ISO really is a standard for how something gets done, and especially in manufacturing. And so we have this standard, and everybody understands how a widget gets put together and out the door. And what happens when something gets out the door that's incorrect, typically they're going to get a letter from their client, their customer, and that customer is going to say, you know what, this is screwed up. And that customer is going to ask three basic questions. They're going to say, what went wrong? How are you going to fix it? And how are you going to prevent this from happening again? Now that's standard three-part questions for an ISO certified company. Now, let's transition that to sales. In the sales world, when's the last time you went to a salesperson and said, you know what, I see this deal sitting in the pipeline, it hasn't moved in 6 months, and there's no activity surrounded it. What happened? How are you going to fix it? And how are you going to ever prevent it from happening again? In the world of sales, there's no standard. And so salespeople can get away with almost anything and everything, and they will. And so when we start to have standards, we can coach to those standards, we can hire to those standards, and we can train people to those standards. So selling is no longer a mystery, and we can always reverse engineer when something went wrong for the benefit of one thing, and that's continuous improvement. That's what Sandler is in my world.